Alrighty. Good luck and have fun to both players. Jazz is saying, let's go, Dan. We got it ready from Dan. We got it ready from Sodium. Let's do it. Count them down for game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And they're off. They have different... Okay. Mr. Shams figured out what's going on. We're good. Things are looking peachy keen. Hopefully we'll not have too many more calibration issues. I'm a little worried that threw off the last game, but fingers crossed. Who do we have here? On your left side, we have DanV out of the United Kingdom. Currently number 8 in the Premier poll. As Paris regional champion. Took down Lou Scooty for that one. And he's currently sitting at 3-0 in the CTL standings in this very wide open Div 1B. He is one of the people who can take it, and there are 4, honestly. So he plays well. Keeps these wins coming in, and we'll see what can happen. On the right side, we have certainly in from... Oh, he has his spot set to the Isle of Man, but I don't think he's going to the TT anytime soon. It's Sodium Overdose. Currently number 16 in the Premier Poll rankings. Sitting at 8 points in the Division 1 and 2. So likes to start getting some wins because he get a little more comfortable and not have to worry about that relegation fight. But maybe maybe it gets down to Div 2, he would, I think, jump back up very quickly because he's a very good player. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's currently at 38 lines, 206,000 points. Dan at 208. Very close game here so far. Sodium set up left well. Dan really loves that dangly earring. I mean, it's a nice earring. Maybe if we get Katsugiri in the chat, she can tell us the backstory. We got a... Sodium's up by, I think, like, it's a double. I think it's a little more than a line clear. I think that's, maybe, okay, well, I don't know what the line clear is worth, but... Justin was saying, oh yeah, Kat gave him that earring. There we go. And he's wearing it to his matches. Nice. Sodium's still sitting up left well. Kinda had a little bit of, last second attempted adjustment of a J. Didn't quite get all the way over, but... You don't think it'd be too costly? You're going to use the opportunity to move this well back over anyway. It's still more or less tied up. Oh, wait. Costa's cat? Are you cat? Tron Disc, okay, the one that just ended. Let me see. Yeah, I can get that for you. Give me a second. It's called Invective, so... Yeah, if you're liking this, yeah, I would maybe like... Oh, no. Anyway, Dan's in a little bit of trouble. He's no longer in a little bit of trouble. He is kind of high, but Lombard Tetris. I don't know what to say here. These players are playing... almost flawlessly. So Dan might be having to do a little bit. Nice. Gets the bar over. So well reopened. He's okay. It's going to let Sodium get a slight advantage here. 2 Tetrises in a row for Dan. Sodium not set up for that second bar. I cannot Shazam tracks while watching you on my iPhone 15 Pro Titanium. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah, this, and that's the downside of having the same device for everything. Remind me, I have that like link sitting on my clipboard, but I can't copy and paste from OBS. OBS doesn't like that. As Sodium will have a little bit of a slowdown. Again, I'm just like commenting whenever like a player has to burn like 4 lines. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just that Dan now has like a 20,000 point lead, which will just be like not really that relevant once they hit 19 anyway. Now he's going to be digging a little more. Sodium is so good again. Yeah, he's woo. Nice line spin from DanV. I feel like, I don't know. I like line spins in the same way that Jasmine likes Vits. Line spins are great. Choreo say this is the last match of the day. We have some thrillers previously. Yeah. There you go. Transition for DanV 594. Sodium still has one more Tetris available to him. Gets the Lumber, gets the Tetris, gets the 619. So we'll go into with about a Tetris or so lead. We're into level. There we go. 668 for Sodium, 625 for DanV. DanV's capture froze a little bit. Hopefully it'll come back soon. He is clearly still digging. There it is. We're back. It's like nothing ever happened. Sodium is looking real nice. Does have to do a few burns, but yeah. General chat saying Sodium sees the game differently. Yeah, he's definitely one of those players who just stacking, watching him stack is like absolutely nothing else. I guess Sidnev's another. Yeah, there's definitely, it's like interesting how like different the styles are. Cause just kind of like some players just like very ahead, just like straight ahead. No monkey business. Andrew Meeks Samus game 5. It was a thriller. Portal threw up a 1.4 into 39. Well, there's really close here. DanV 820. Sodium. Oh, he was down a little bit, but then both players Tetris. Dan will do a little bit of digging though, so Sodium has a chance to pile on a couple more Tetrises while Dan gets this squared away. A lot more Tetris. Sodium 867, Dan 855. About equal line count. Yeah. It's all Carl Casey. Let me send. I'll just send it to you. Give me a second. Sorry. I have to paste it in the browser instead of on OBS. Because like OBS just like crashes sometimes if I try to copy and paste there, which is really an incredible. Anyway, it's free. We love OBS. It's a miracle that it exists. Turbo Oli X, thank you for the follow. Kind of close game here so far. We're in level 26 as Tetris takes the max out. Dan only 9,000 points away. We'll get it with the next bar, and there it is. Hard to not a lot of daylight between the two right now. We're at level 27, and we're going to have to start thinking about that level 29 kill screen transition. And Sodium getting a very rough RNG sequence. Board kind of looking the best now. Kind of has a little bit of a shadow T in there. Going to get it burnt out. We'll want to burn it out before the transition. He is... wants to get this, yeah, so DanV handled it, also ended up burning a bunch, but his board is down pretty low. So both players for transition. DanV 1142, Sodium 1097. Sodium still digging, but he's going to be a-okay. Dan set up for the Tetris. He gets the Lombard, he gets the Tetris 1186, 1109. So that's going to be taking the lead for Dan as we go into level 30. Okay, Dan gets the well reopened. That looked a little scary there for a second, but he's going to get it down. Going to take some burns. His left side might be rocked off. He gets the T all the way over. Sodium trying to get set up as well. He's got to take some burns, but DanV is now Tetris ready. DanV is waiting for the bar. Curly 1204. He's the T, and that's going to be it. DanV tops out at 1204. Sodium, you are in a chase down. You need 1205 in order to take it. 1205. And he has his well reopened This is not looking great. He has Tetris ready. He gets the Lombard. He gets the Tetris. He's at 1181. He still has a way to go. His gets the bar. I don't know if this is can do anything with this. I don't think he can. He's not going to complete the chase down. Sodium's going to top out at 1181. Dan, you're good for game number 1. GG's. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Ugh. Does make the match a little quicker, but yeah. Sodium gets a Lombard, gets a Tetris. Dan as well, but Sodium needs something to tuck in. You know, pieces kind of aren't coming for him. Gonna do a little bit of a skim here, a little bit of construction. It's a Lombard. There you go. Finally gets a Z or something. Vitz alert. Jasmine, that was a Vitz. Same stuff, yeah. Long bar Tetris to Sodium goes up to 54,000 points. Dan's at 50. Close game here so far. As both players dealing with a little bit of RNG. I mean, I guess they're always dealing with the same amount of RNG all the time, but you know what I mean. Chen says line spin versus Vitz. Yeah, I like the line spins. They're pretty great. $143 for Dan, 146 for Sodium. We're tied. Andrew Meep said, always forget DanV is top line. Yeah, dude, he's number 8 right now. He's been taking some really high profile matches lately, so. Oh no, a little bit of a scary misdrop for Dan though. For that long bar. I think he's going to be okay. He gets to the long bar and that's exactly what he needed. 156 for Dan, 237 for Sodium, so the little slowdown will be capitalized upon by Sodium. Hello Lucas, I'm doing great. Restreaming some thrilling matches. Let's just say commentating. I'm not actually restreaming anything. No one's streaming to Twitch here except for me. Hosting. I am playing host. Do some thrilling classic Tetris League action. $279 for Dan, $335 for Sodium. Sodium having a little bit of a jagged board. Just a T spin, nice. So Lombard going to take the Tetris. We'll have a couple holes at the bottom of his stack though, so he will have to do a little bit of clearing out. DanV. Oh my goodness, somebody's suddenly in a little bit of trouble here, but oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Getting anything to that left side? He does? What was that? S roll. He might be in, I don't think he's able to get out of this though. And that's going to be a top out. Dan will top out at 307. Sodium, you're good for game number 2. GG's. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Hey, Andrew saying, I just saw game 5 of Portal versus Doc. Yeah, that was insane. First match was crazy too. Neko's something special. I don't know if you know, yeah, we don't go live on YouTube. I think the only person who goes live on YouTube is Peek, Lucas. The only CTL matches that go there are the post-produced ones. Peek sometimes streams there just because he has the stream key, but also like, you know, it's like an additional moderation challenge, and you kind of have a little bit of a pain to get set up, and we already have, you know, already have enough technical difficulties in this tournament anyway. So he had a little bit of a early board jankiness, but he's going to get it resolved. Gets a Lombard, gets a Tetris, and Sodium now having to deal with something himself. Well, Lucas, yeah, can't see him live anymore. He said, I wish I could see Fractal versus Neko and Dog versus Portal. I mean, they're, watch the VOD, but also they are almost assuredly going on YouTube. Because they were both bangers of matches. DanV almost set up here. He's set up. Makes a square hole. There you go. Corion thing. Love it. Lombard. Tetris. 168 for Dan. 185 for Sodium. Die Halto, thank you for the follow. 260 for Dan, 223 for Sodium. I feel like I should mention at least once a match. We do have a match Reno for the top finishers. It will pay out to the top finishers of the Classic Tetris League playoffs, which are happening in 2 weeks. We're already 2/3 of the way through the season, y'all. It's comes up on you quick. Sodium gets some weird pieces that his board can't quite accommodate. He gets a bar, it's a J for a tuck, and things are looking a little rosier. Still has a little bit of a deep chasm in there, but he'll be fine. Getting very close so far. Sodium with a slight edge, but you know, it's not very wide. 353 for Dan, 370 for Sodium. Lucas said, I hit a 499927. Man, I feel that so hard. Like when I was playing Tetris, like first few months, I had like, my PB was like 494 for a while, then it was 497, and I just kept choking them. I'm a choker, I'll be honest. I'm trying to get a 500k 19 start now, and a little bit of a weirdness from Sodium. Not quite sure what happened there, but he'll get it burnt out. Gets a Lombard for the triple. He's almost set up one off. Now can't quite accommodate a bunch of Z's, so he's going to be digging for a little bit. Nice to get some bars real quick, which doesn't look like it's in the cards. We're tied up though DanV will take a Tetris to take a lead. And there's another one. Sodium's board creeping upward. It's 18. Just a matter of losing pace at this point. It's a bar. There we go. Gets a gazillion bars, and that helps his board out quite a bit. DanV gets another Lombard, gets a Tetris, crashes that. 500,000 threshold, 522 for him, 443 for Sodium. So I'm just going to take the triple, going to get that line off the bottom, cleared up, squared away. And now he's down by about 70,000 points, equal line count, just for the Lombard. Very nice. Oh yeah. You'll get it though, Lucas. Lucas, you're... Oh, so if you want to play comp, there's this cool thing called TNP that you can play in. I help run it, so doesn't feel like I need to give a shout out to it occasionally. Dan transitions into 19-6-17. Sodium still has one more Tetris available to him, 4 more lines. Lombard Tetris 550, 544. Luke is saying, isn't there this cool thing called CTL? Well, funny thing about TNP, it is affiliated with the CTL. So, like, if you're a sub-max out player all the way to absolutely beginner, you can play in TNP. If you can get, there's like, it's like CTL, there are different divisions. You can get promoted and relegated between them. If you get promoted all the way to the top, you get to go into CTL. Yeah, the lowest CTL player is max players, and there's also a couple. Sodium, I'm gonna shut up for a second. Sodium's a little bit high. Having a hard time staying clean here. Does want a bar. He is set up. And there's a Lombard. There's a very dirty Tetris. 606 for him. 759. So he is losing pace. DanV has opened up quite a bit of a lead. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, it's like CTL 6 through 9. It's called gold, silver, bronze, and then there's the beginner divs, which will work a little differently. But yeah, I'll give you a link and join our Discord. But the word is not getting out about TNP. It's like league, yeah, so it's like league play, so you get a bunch of matches like these folks do. Hold on, there's some sort of calibration, something going on. No, that's not. Okay. Dan's at 937, almost hitting the max. I believe Sodium's at 728. Gets another Lombard, gets to the Tetris. DanV gets the board down, getting his tux. That could have been a little spicy there for a second, but it wasn't. Oh, he's currently 320 points for the max. Lombard, Tetris go to max into 26. He's at 1032. Sodium's at 819, so Sodium down by kind of a lot. It looks more and more like, unless Dan runs into a traffic jam here, he's going to need some to make it up on the kill screen. Lombard Tetris for Sodium, 883, 1096 for Dan. T-spin for Dan, 1130, 948 for Sodium. 1168. But Dan just pouring it on. Has a 1.2 and still has 2 Tetrises available to him before the 19. He will take a line gap there, so he's not going to be able to use all of them, I don't think. But 1238. Stommy is maxed out. He's at 1017. And Dan will transition 1242, but has a couple misdrops early. Can't get the Lombard all the way over. And he's in some trouble. I don't think he can get anything done. He's going to top out at 1244, so Sodium, you were in a chase down. You need 1245 in order to take it. 1245. And about to hit 29. Yeah, he was down pretty big, but now he transitions 1131. Has about 100,000 points to take it, and can take all the time he wants here. Trying to get it down. He should be fine. I think he just lined this out. It would be a pretty long line out though. Under 100,000 now. He's 1245. And use the opportunity to stretch his legs a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, beginner's a little weird. Because people, we want people to like sign up but then get trapped down there. So bronze, silver, and gold kind of work the way you expect them to. 1190. So yeah, getting it done. Oh, he's set up though. I don't think he wants to be set. Okay, no, he's not set up. That was a triple. Apologies. The triples are going to eat into that deficit very quickly, though. Only needs 20,000 more. Yeah, he is almost there. Almost there. 3,000 more. Dark Lurker, thank you for the follow. And that is it. GG's. Sodium will take game number 3. Goes to match point. Dan's NTC is freezing. Gerald in the chat, offering tech support because he's a great guy. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, here we go. Alrighty, they're off. Dan wants a win here. He wants to keep his playoff hopes alive. I mean, I don't think they'd be dead after this if he loses, but yeah, there are a lot of very scary players in this div. Dan doing their bits. It is Jasmine approved. Nice tuck setup too. Longbar Tetris, both players. There we go. Dan giving Jasmine what she wants. Sodium up by about a Tetris, though also 2 lines ahead. It's fairly meaningless at this point. And they're getting some tucks, getting set up. Sodium also tucking and setting up and doing his thing. Longbar Tetris. Realizing I should drink water a little more often. Throat dry? Try water. It's also very hot in this apartment. I feel like, I don't want to complain about it again. I feel like I complain about it every single stream. This apartment is great in a lot of ways, but in the summer it's just a greenhouse. Jasmine single-handedly... She'll say Jasmine single-handedly increasing pace and top-up rates for top players. Just making the game a little more exciting. That's what she's here for. Giving a little bit of positive feedback for a risky player. Sodium get a little high. It takes the safety triple. And there's the Tetris, getting the stack down. Sodium with a slight lead. Pace considered. A small, but not as slight lead. Before pace is considered. I think Jay is kind of cool. Yeah. A lot more Tetris for Sodium. Both players playing real clean. Nice little adjustment from Sodium there. I think we're, yeah. Sodium holding on to his lead, 50,000 points, but also about a Tetris in the future. Tetrises are 22,800. $1,200 times 19. Very intuitive number system. I mean, it is pretty intuitive. Here's the thing, I feel like, okay, random rant time. Why do we start at level 0 if it just makes the math weirder? Because, like, the bonus, like, if you're trying to, like, compute how much a Tetris, you know, a line clear is worth, according to level, you multiply it by that level plus 1. But you started on level 0. So, like, why don't you just start on level 1? Just make the math easier. More old man yells at cloud moments, but that's fine. Tetris for Dan goes up to 451. 0 is cool, but I don't know. 0... Starting at level 0 is how you know there was a programmer involved with this. I'm a programmer professionally. I get it. But like, this is a video game. I guess this is a video game that, like, people who are into computers like. You don't have to be into it, but 519 for Dan, 546 for Sodium. Very clean game. Gonna have on a pace to 600 and then some for both players. That number isn't natural. Yeah, positive integers only. We're having some sort of Restreamed issue. Okay, well, what just happened? Sodium's back. There we go. Dan is back. Sodium's at 615. Sodium will, hold on, go into a lead. Go into transition with the lead. Yeah, the plus stuff works better. If you don't have level 0, you can only play level 1. Okay, there we go. Retransition. Sodium's at 662. Dan has Lombard Tetris 619. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close. Sodium with a slight lead going to transition here as Dan transitions. Gets to the Tetris, goes up to 637. Kind of just piling them on right now. Equal line count. Dan down. Let me try that one more time. Dan down by a Tetris. Say that 10 times fast. I keep like accidentally backing myself into tongue twisters today. Okay. Starting with a little bit of a dig here. Kind of a awkwardly long time to wait for the piece, but it comes. 726 to 675. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think Alexi lives in the States. I have no idea where in the States. I don't know if making it to Pasadena is easier. 732, make that 759 for Dan. Sodium going to get a Tetris, goes up to 792, but he does seven lines ahead. I think we're pretty much tied right now. Dan has closed the gap. Sodium keeps having to take these little burns. We're very, very close in score. So yeah, Dan definitely having a pace advantage at the moment. Because the J for the left gets a bar for the right, gets the Tetris. 847 to 855. We're about halfway through post. Clean game so far. Both players showing you how it's done. 9-12 for Dan, looking to max out. I think he can do a 25 max out here. Probably not anymore, but 26 faux show. If the bar ever comes. Approaching drought territory. There we go. Lombard Tetris. Sodium needs one more Tetris for the max. Waiting for the bar. And there it is. Bar is not forthcoming right now, but players are doing with it. Making do with anyway. Playing some very efficient Tetris. Sodium has the max. 10-20. Dan freezes for a bit, but he's back. 10-18. Close game here. And Sodium is on match point. Dan needing to stay alive here. If he gets this one, he will force a decider. As he goes to level 28, 1059. Sodium ahead. Goes up to 1090. He's ahead by a Tetris and some change. As Dan's board looking a little weird. He gets the Lombard, gets a Tetris, gets it down. No longer dealing with that center well. 2 more lines until level 29. And that split double is going to mean he's in there. 1104 for Dan. 1199 for Sodium. And Sodium gets his board down. Dan's just creeping up. Can he get anything over to that left side? Yes! He's going to do it. He now needs... There you go. But Sodium's now much cleaner. Going to try to get set up here. He's going to be very, very safe because he knows Dan is digging. He doesn't want to top out, though he might. Yeah, he's going to keep it safe. He's going to keep this thing burnt out. Neither player really getting near Tetris ready. The Sodium is kind of approaching it. Dan is almost Tetris ready, though. He's having to take some flat skims, but he's ready. He gets the bar. He gets the Tetris. 1169. Sodium at 1233. So that closes the gap substantially. He's going to level 32. 1134 for Sodium. His board falling apart real quick. Misdrops the T, misdrops the J, but he stops out at 1234. But Dan not done yet, and his board looking a little spicy as well. Can he get anything over to that left side? Does so. He's at 1219. Needs 1235. 1225, 10,000 more, and that double is going to get him most of the way there. I don't think he needs to get all the way down there. He just only 1233, 1234. He does it. He gets it done. He's going to force the decider. GG's. Oh my goodness. Nice Tetris, 2 off the bottom. Let's watch the Mullen. Hasn't been shifted to that square, so that might be... Oh my goodness, another one. He's like, okay, I just wanted that Tetris. Number 5 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Like I say, yeah. 3 decider matches in one night, keeping me busy. Players were like, you know what? Arbarrro needs to be taken away from his Ballatro. I also need to do this week in Tetris still. I haven't really watched like any matches this week. So that's going to be fun to try to catch up on, but there weren't that many, so that's fine. Sodium the GOAT, yeah. Here's the question. Is Peek going to upload all 3 of these to YouTube? Because all 3 of them are bangers today, and this one's not even done. Hello, Hana. How's it going? Also, hello, Xenon. The toxic sodium is trash? I can't say that. No. No negativity here. Unless you're like Sodium's friend. In that case, maybe he's just like trash talking you. I'm his friend. Okay. In that case, sure, you can 2v suck Sodium. Both players. Very, very good. Okay. Sodium with a huge thumbs down. Alright, has Sodium taken burns? I don't know. 1207 for Dan, 1206. I think, okay, there we go. I was wondering if Sodium was perfect, but he took a couple burns. Bar ain't coming. Close to it, though. Also, it gives you the Tetris rate at the top of the screen. I could have just looked at that. That's just Shramps. Got to use the features of it if we're putting up the foibles. Okay, I've decided... I said the word foibles earlier in the stream, and now I said it like 4 times since then. Vits from DanV. Where's Jasmine in chat? She's going wild. 302 for Dan, 304 for Sodium. It is close. I'm here. Did you see it? Did you see the Vits? Hi here. Hi here. I'm Dad. I don't miss Vits. She just has like a little like radar going on. There you go. Line spin. That's some great get some line spin action there for Dan. 329 to 374. Well, Sodium is ahead 5 lines, so good chunk of that pace is... Good chunk of that lead is imaginary, but some of it's real. You missed ones in my Friendly thing. That was so sad. Yeah. Jasmine needs to be watching every time a player plays Tetris and could conceivably get a Vits. Counters went off. I don't really fully understand how the drought counter gets off, but I don't know. I feel like helping Yobi out with Natural Champs might be a fun project. But here's the question, right? And this is a question for Yobi mostly, but I'm not talking to Yobi, I'm talking to you. Let's actually wait for Sodium to get out of this dig. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, but just in case. Okay. Yeah, he's fine. Level 100 Asian. Thank you for the follow. Like, I feel like you could make this a lot more deterministic, right? Like in terms of Tetris champs. Like, logically, you should know that if you get a Tetris on level 25, and like you have 790,000 points, you're not just going to jump up to like a 1.1, right? That's just, and that's something you can just like determine with math. Gerald says, oh, I can never see that. Gerald is now Sodium. So that's how I know you're good. Got the Mega Masters finalist, telling you how good your replacements and adjustments are. Both players are getting really close to level 19. $557 to $573. Ooh, whoa, there we go. Sodium gets a Lombard, gets the Tetris, 600,000. Just get the 600K for the transition. Dan at 586, so that just barely off. DanV gets the Lombard, and that's going to resolve a dependency. He's going to get the sack down. Robin Tetris saying, come on, Dan. We got players cheering for each other. We got Robin cheering for Dan. We got Sodium's cousins trying to sabotage Sodium to cheer for Dan. We got Sodium's friend in chat. Say he sucks. No, just kidding. But like that's again, Gerald say I feel like the math doesn't need to be able to catch her. Level 100 agents saying my glorious king Sodium can do it. Yeah, I think we got this. Sodium. Got the Sodium fan club in here. I'd love to see it. Nick 474744296. Thank you for the follow. Sodium holding on to a slight lead here, but it is very slight. Good. It's less than 50,000 and smaller when you consider that Dan has a few lines in hand. Miles a great hello. It's a great Sodium viewing it. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's just champs. I think that, like, I mean, I'll say if the calibration is better, but, like, I don't know, like, if the seems like the capture is, like, a hard problem. Like, a computer vision isn't really, I don't think, like, anyone's done it perfectly. And there's always going to be mistakes with it. And I feel like kind of, you know, going off of both of them is probably going to be better than going off of just one or the other. I guess you technically can't go off of just the... I don't know, but just, like, you know... Maybe add something that, like, you know, kind of prevents impossible situations from happening. At least a twinkling shouldn't happen. 914 for Dan, 934 for Sodium. I'm kind of wondering if Max Out Club worked. Okay, anyway, I'll stop yabbering about this. Because we're almost at level 29, and this is the decider. So both players looking really clean, and Sodium not quite. Yeah, it looks like Dan has clawed back the lead, but again, it's so close that it doesn't really matter. Both players have net maxed out now. 1020 for Dan, 1009 for Sodium. Mog, use Moogle instead of Max Out Club. And it's Max Out Club, but it keeps calling you Kupo for some reason. Sodium has the 1.1. He has one more Tetris available to him before the transition. And he is almost there. Ours not coming, though. Oh, my goodness. Okay, there he is. Wall open. What's the Tetris? There it is. Lombard Tetris. 1151 is the transition score for him. 1164 for Dan. So Dan has taken a slight lead here. But anything can happen is Sodium trying to get clean. Dan is clean, waiting, setting up for the Tetris, and Sodia's board all of a sudden looking not that great. Gets a bunch of bars though, and that's going to help out a ton. 1186 for Dan, 1171 for Sodium. Sodium now clean, so trying to set up again. Dan, 1201. Both players trying to get set up, and Dan is set up. Needs the bar. Bar not coming. He's going to take safety burns. Sodium now set up as well. Lombard, Tetris. Sodium goes up to 1221, and DanV fires back, which is good because he had a couple missed drops. Board was looking not great, but now it's down. Sodium's board kind of losing control a little bit. Can he get anything over to that left side? Gets a J, but this is very, very spicy. And he can't get the L over, and that's going to do it. Sodium tops out 1226. DanV is good for game number 5 and the set. GG's. GG's. Great set, y'all. DanV is pumped, as he should be. He survives. Keeps his undefeated set record alive. He's 3-0 now. Lockman Sponsor has started playing Tetris. Still very blurry, though. Okay, sorry. It's Dog playing Tetris. You know him. You know of him. He is the 2-time world champion. Currently perfect in CTL Division 1C through 3 matches. Staying there pretty with 21 points, hoping to expand that as the lead over Fractal.